What do you love about being a carer?
Hi, my name is Danielle. I work on the carer services as an advisor and I am a carer. What I love about being a carer is just being a mum. Loving my kids is the easy part. That's not the difficult part about being a carer, and I'm very proud to advocate and care for them.
I'm Louise and I'm HR Governance and Compliance Officer, and I am a carer. What I love about being a carer is I care for my brother who has tuberous sclerosis. I've been a carer for as long as I can remember, so I've been a young carer. And I'm in the position now where, because my mum and dad went through a lot caring for my brother, that they set everything up so that now I have the fortune of being a carer who goes in to support my brother around actual paid staff. And the thing I love the most is we've created a sort of family of carers who are paid and unpaid who support him, and it brings me absolute joy that he's got a community of people around him who just adore him.
A very difficult question. If I'm honest, not an awful lot. I find it very difficult. It's challenging, really challenging. It's not a role that I was expecting to ever have to do. I look after mum who has dementia. That is hard work, really hard work, because you don't know what you're going to expect, what's going to happen the day after, or in the future. So, yeah, not an awful lot of that. I value my time with mum.
Hello, my name is Bobby and I work for Cornwall Carer Service, and I am a carer. I love that it comes very naturally, that it is a very natural process for me. It's in line with my own values as a person.
Hi, my name is Michelle and I work for Humans Cornwall, part of disAbility Cornwall, and I am a carer for my husband and son. The things I like about being a carer are that I can be an advocate for the people that I love, and I think that's really important to get their point across that they sometimes can't.
So I'm Kyra Ingalls, I'm the team lead for the Cornwall Carer Service Carer Advice Line team. I really love being a carer because it gives me the opportunity to really make a difference in my loved one's life. Life can be really difficult for her, so knowing that the little things that I do to help her out makes life easier for her, it warms my heart, and I'd do anything to make her happy.
What don't you like about being a carer?
I think the things that I struggle with being a carer is sometimes I feel really exhausted. There's a lot to do. I think battling to get things done for the people that you love is really difficult. Sometimes you're made to feel that you are being awkward.
Stress, the lack of joined upness from professionals, the worry, the feeling of responsibility that I have for mum and for my dad. My dad is also mum's carer as well. But they both moved from out of county to be closer to me, so I feel like I've got some responsibility towards them, a lot of responsibility towards them.
I think it's maybe more of a challenge interacting with friends, family, members of the public that don't have a caring role themselves, because they don't always understand what it's really like to be a carer. And that I'm not making excuses when I cancel plans or when I can't make plans far in the future, that's the reality of what it's like. But on the flip side of that coin, it's absolutely fantastic when I speak to other carers and they just get it.
And the thing I don't like about being a carer is that it's really crippling to get help, and what that does is really impact carers to their absolute detriment. My mum and my dad fought for a long time to get any kind of support for my brother, and it really affected their mental health, their well-being, their finances, absolutely everything. And whilst I'm in a better position as a carer now, it took a lot of hurt and sort of damage on their part to get us where we need to be, and it shouldn't be the case. People shouldn't have to fight for the rights of others. They should just be available and accessible to all.
What I don't like about being a carer is feeling increasingly isolated because it's difficult to do everyday things that other people find easy to do. I have to plan ahead to do any sort of activity with my children, and always have to arrange to have help so that we can either go to the supermarket or access a park, for example. I also find it difficult feeling different because as my friends and family's children grow up and access activities and clubs and things like that, I'm increasingly feeling different because my children can't access those same things. And I also don't like the looks and stares and tuts from people who are unkind and do not show enough care and understanding towards my children and me.
If you had a magic wand, what would you change?
If I had a magic wand and I needed to change something about being a carer, it would be that all of the different clusters of people that sit around, who should sit around you as a carer, actually communicate. You might find one person who's amazing, but they don't know that other department or that other service, or they might just not have the skills or processes to be able to talk to each other. And it means then you're battling with all of these different bodies of people and asking them to communicate when actually that should be given to you as a carer rather than you fighting for it. So that's how I would create my magic, is by fixing that.
With my magic wand, I would make sure that all people that are in a caring role are listened to and people had more empathy for the situation that we are in for both us and the people we care for.
If I had a magic wand, I wouldn't change anything about my children because in my eyes they're perfect, but I would do something to make their life easier for them. So if I had a magic wand, I would give them a voice because I'd want to give them the opportunity to tell me if they were unwell, sad, or have their wants and needs met. But what I would change about the world is for them to have access to the services that they need to live happy and fulfilled lives, for NHS waiting lists to be reduced and for them to be able to access NHS services that they need.
So if I had a magic wand to change my caring role in the world, I mean there's so many things that I would do, but I think the main thing that I'd look at changing is just communication between professionals, between how they interact with me as a carer. So sometimes I don't feel heard.
I would change the fact that when somebody has been given their diagnosis of dementia, that you are automatically given a team around that person. At the moment, you have to speak to different people individually to try and get things joined up, and also to make use of carer services as well to find information out, things like that, which is fine for me because I know where to go, but for other people that is really, really hard. The system seems to be set against you. There's lots of information that you're not told, that you should be told. You are paying for care or not paying for care. As soon as you've got your dementia diagnosis, there should be somebody there that can hold your hand and support you and support your family, and that's what my magic wand.
What do you do to look after you?
My garden. I spend a lot of time crafting, so and also walking the dog, getting out in the fresh air, getting out in the green space, because that is good for your mental health anyway.
It's not always easy to find the time to do something for me, but what I really try to do, and it's a simple thing, especially in Cornwall, is to get to the beach. I love going to the beach, especially at those times of day where it's quieter and maybe you don't have families or holidaymakers there, and it's just empty and you've got that space and the wind, and it just clears the mind and soul, and I feel so much better coming off the beach. I've got 2 dogs, I love going to the beach with them, they love it, and it's just a fantastic way to reset.
So what I do to look after me, just quite recently I realised that I wasn't actually doing very much to look after me and was feeling increasingly stressed. So I have now taken the decision to reduce my working hours. And what I hope to do is to take up sea swimming again, which is something that I previously enjoyed. And hopefully that's going to help relieve some stress and anxiety.
I try to look after myself, try to make time for myself. I do a little bit of crochet, do some baking sometimes. It's quite difficult, but I try and remember that I'm important too.
To look after myself, I would say that's been quite a journey for me over the years, because I'm very much about, and I think lots of people would probably say, is I'm very much about worrying about everyone else and fussing about everyone else at home and at work, and actually to turn the table back is really difficult. But I love art. I create art most days, even if it's 10 minutes, just doing a little doodle or doing something creative with art journaling. I love being with my family, and I have two amazing cats, Pip and Peanut, who I just love spending time with and being distracted by.